Hey, what's going on, guys? Jay Wood here again, getting ready to do another Marvel Legends review for you guys on the Marvel Legends 12-inch Surtur figure from the Ragnarok movie. And guys, this is a pretty decent figure. I'm very happy to have him. He does capture what I believe to be the essence of Surtur from the film. I'm very impressed with the attention to detail here. Good artwork. He definitely looks like a very fiery-esque or demonic being. So, definitely liking him, the styling and everything that he has here. So, as always, going to get into some comparisons after the box. And then we're going to do some articulation here and there. We're going to see what this guy can do. But like I said, very impressed with the figure. I'm very happy overall, especially for the price point of, I believe I paid maybe, I think 30 bucks or so, I think, for this guy. I did get him during the Pulse Day sale, so I did get him at a little bit of a cheaper price. But yeah, definitely feel like if you can, go ahead and get him. He's definitely worth the price for admission. So yeah, as always, going to get into the box a little bit, and then we're going to do some comparisons, and then we're going to look at accessories, and then see what the figure can do. So, to start it off, guys, packaging here, pretty standard, the window packaging type deal that they're doing now for the Infinity Saga figures / what they did with the 10 years figures as well. And this, of course, being from Thor Ragnarok. Unfortunately, mine came a little bit banged up. There's some dents here and there, scuffage. Like, I kind of hate it when the packaging is pretty damaged already before I even get it, but you can't always win. So it got some pretty interesting right there artwork on the side of Endgame and Infinity War characters right there. So you can kind of see everybody. You can get a little bit different, but like just pretty much a reflected artwork on the other side. And then you get some artwork from Thor Ragnarok, the film. And you get a little read up for Surtur right there. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. So that's pretty much it in the way of packaging. Now let's get into some comparisons. And in case you guys didn't believe me when I said he was a 12-inch figure, I did bring in a 12-inch figure for this video today. Just bring him just a little bit closer. He's such a tall guy, I kind of have to have him like way back just to get him all the way in the frame because his horns are so high. Well, his crown. Yeah, like he said in the movie. And so for first comparisons here, we're going to put him next to my 12-inch Captain America figure. Just to prove to you guys that he is, in fact, 12 inches. So yeah, not really going to go in scale with the 12-inch Marvel Legends figures, if that's what you want to use them for. Obviously, because, you know, you kind of have to have a much bigger, more imposing Surtur figure. But I don't know, maybe some people would like to do that. Maybe you'd like to have a Surtur that's kind of like in scale with your 12-inch figure, so he can look like he's small enough to do battle with some of the other characters like Wolverine or Cap or something like that. Maybe have him see eye to eye with a 12-inch Thor. But yeah, definitely a pretty big guy. Now I'm going to put him in with some of his movie counterparts. Like I said in the previous video, I do not have a Ragnarok version of Thor, unfortunately, so my Endgame Thor is going to have to work for comparisons today. And then you have the Endgame Thor. Well, the Infinity War Thor, I should say. As he entered Wakanda. See how those guys look together. Then you have Hela from Ragnarok as well. And I believe that was Loki was the Loki from the 2-pack with Corvus Glaive. Yeah, I keep forgetting that for some reason. So yeah, see how he looks with the 6-inch movie figures. So he does go very well. You can definitely get him in some good shots and frames with these guys. You can probably, if you do have a Thor Ragnarok figure of Thor, you can go ahead and probably recreate the whole chain scene where he's hanging from the ceiling while Surtur's sitting on his throne. I wanted to do that, but didn't have a chain or anything like that I could use for the display setup. But nevertheless, bring these guys back out. And to kind of show you guys that I do believe he will go very well with comic book figures as well. I'm going to put him in here with the Builder figure Odin from back in the day. as well as the Marvel Now Thor from back in the day. So of course, you know, big guy, imposing size and everything. Looks like somebody that would present a very good challenge for both comic book Thor and comic book Odin. Even though technically he's not in his most powered up state, being weakened, having fought Odin all those years ago, but still. Definitely captures, I believe, a Surtur. I don't know if they're ever going to do a comic book version of him or not later on down the line, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. So putting these guys back out of the frame, let's take a look at some of his accessories. He doesn't come with much, but I believe it's all he needs. He has one open hand right there, kind of like a come hither kind of hand. He has his grippy hand for his sword. And of course the sword itself, this huge, giant letter opener size sword. And then he comes with a fist hand for down to business type work. And it also comes with another grip hand, so he can alternate hands holding the sword. So, nice. That's all he comes with as far as accessories. And so, now I believe we can get down to the figure. See what he can do. So, for the first portion, I'm going to go ahead and like tilt the camera just a little bit so I can kind of show you guys his articulation, because he's kind of tall. So, for the head, doesn't move it very far because he's a tall figure, so I don't expect him to be able to move up very far and look up at anybody else. So head pretty much tilts up just ever so slightly, just kind of just makes him look forward pretty much. You tilt down that far, like look down almost chin to his chest. Side to side motion, of course. Shoulders move up very little because I'm kind of scared. I don't want to break him because he has this big notch on both his shoulders on both sides. That kind of like, you can kind of see, there it goes, there it is. That right there kind of hinders the shoulders from going up very far, so they kind of like stop right there. If you're, you know, man enough or, you know, tough enough, you might be able to just push your shoulder down a little bit and kind of further squeeze it in there, but I don't want to break them, so I'm not going to do that. But for right now, review purposes, shoulder moves up just that far. So that kind of sucks. But bicep cut, double jointed elbows. It folds in that far, so pretty much a lot, or all the way for a bigger guy, pretty decent. Wrist swivel with up and down motion. Well, for this hand, I believe this is the hand with the dice rolling motion. So yeah, it rolls sideways, well, up and down. So yeah, the other grippy hand for the sword does have up and down motion, so it goes like that. That motion. But this sword, yeah, this hand right here, you can definitely does the dice roll motion. So you kind of point the sword towards the air. And then for torso articulation, he has I call around the world swivel right there. So you can crunch back just on that by itself, just a little bit. So kind of like that much by itself. And he also has a waist crunch or ab crunch that also adds in that much bend backwards. So yeah, I get a good amount of bend backwards and a good amount of bend forward because of those two joints. So yeah, he's definitely very limber in the torso, like he does Pilates or something, or yoga or something maybe. Legs kick out to the sides that far. So not a full split, but close enough for a big guy. Upper thigh cut. Legs kick forward that much, so you can do almost this is a Sparta kind of move. Double jointed knees that fold in very far for a bigger guy. So you know, almost completely calf to thigh there, so pretty decent. I pinched my hand earlier trying to straighten the leg back out. That hurt really bad, but I'm going to try to avoid that now. And he has a little ankle cut right here that allows him to be able to turn his foot all the way around, so that's kind of unique for a bigger figure, but I haven't had many figures this big, so I guess it's kind of normal, I guess. Then of course he has the ankle pivot as well with up and down motion. So pretty agile for a big, scary, intimidating fire demon. And I believe in the comic books, just to kind of throw some knowledge out there, I would think, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that he is the son of Hela. I'm not sure. I think I may have read that might be like an alternate universe type deal. But yeah. So the comic books are pretty much drastically different from the movies. But, you know, Marvel, they're just doing what they can and kind of like, you know, scrambling everything up just a little bit, but also referring to the source material for the movies and everything. So that's to be expected. But yeah, pretty decent, solid figure if you just want to have him posed on your shelf, of course, as a Thor rogue. So yeah, if you can find him or get your hands on him, I recommend you get him for your collection, because I definitely appreciate his aesthetic and the way he looks. I mean, just look at all that detail in there, like this very grainy, like kind of like almost a completely original everything. Like as far as like the sculpting goes, okay, you can kind of see and tell that they didn't really just like take a Bucky mold or something like that and just blow it up. They kind of just like made everything brand new for this figure. So definitely appreciate that hard work. A lot of good detail right here on the sword too, as far as the shading and coloring goes. So that is very nice. Lots of grimy looking kind of detail to it. Very textured. Then multiple colors on it as well to kind of show, like, you know, like one side might be hotter than another side or whatnot. The blade edge might be like, you know, heated more or something like that. But pretty good effect. Definitely something I feel like is very cool and is deserving of a spot in your collection. But as always, if you like this video, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts, and I will be making more videos for you guys to enjoy in the future. Alright, appreciate you guys stopping by. Later.